Well, one thing I know we're all grateful for this holiday season is the depth of the 2025 Los Angeles Rams. Players like Josh Wallace, Davis Allen, and Warren McClendon stepping into larger roles with some key starters on injured reserve. Want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Please enjoy this conversation with Warren McClendon as we look forward to a trip to Carolina. Well, great to sit down with you on a winning streak and coming off a primetime victory. What was Sunday Night Football at SoFi like for you?
It was fun, anytime I'm able to get out there and play, it's always fun. So just being out there and playing with the guys was pretty fun.
Cool night to be a starter, too. I understand your cousin is part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers staff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see him. I haven't seen him since I left Georgia, actually, but it was pretty cool to see him. Got to talk to him before game and after the game, so it was pretty cool.
So that's Brian, who played at Georgia and for the Bears and is currently the Tampa Bay wide receivers coach.
Yes.
And then his father, your Uncle Willie, also played at Georgia and in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. What about Warren McClendon Sr.? What's he like?
He's cool. I mean, he's a laid-back guy. He just kind of just goes with the flow. And he should have played football, but he wanted to be a hooper, so he chose the basketball route and went and played college basketball.
How's your jumper?
It's getting there. Yeah.
Oh, you're still working on it.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I was my back to the goal type of guy. I like to post up.
Gotcha. But football was always your path?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Right on. You've got to play, 4 games as a starter this year. One of them was in primetime on Thursday Night Football against the Niners. What's different about playing under the lights in this league?
It's just a different feeling. Those butterflies before the game and then running out the tunnel, and then it's just need the first snap. Once you get that first snap out the way, and it's like smooth sailing from there on. But
right.
It's pretty cool.
How do you feel you performed?
I think I played all right. A couple plays I want back, but I think I played all right.
That's the case in any game, right? Have you ever played a perfect game, or you're like, I got every single one of those?
Mm-mm.
No? What was it like to spike Colby Parkinson's touchdown?
It was pretty cool. I was hoping I had a better spike. It went straight forward. I hoping, I got a little height on it. But my dad, I was talking to him. He was like, "You got to spike the ball." I was like, "I don't know," but it was pretty cool that he was able to come to the game and I was able to spike it.
That's awesome. Was it planned? Or was it was planned? Okay.
Literally the drive before we were sitting on the bench, I looked over, I was like, "Hey, if you score, you got to let me spike it."
To Colby specifically?
Yeah, to him. And then he scored and he dropped the ball. And I was like, "Oh, it's all good, it's all good." And he ran over there and grabbed it for me and let me spike it. So it was pretty cool.
One, that's good foresight by you because he's now scored in 3 straight games. So you're playing the odds correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And then for those who haven't seen this, go check the TV copy because Warren's right. Colby surely gets lost in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happens to the football, but at the tail end of that celebration, he goes and retrieves it and gives it to you to make good on that promise.
Oh, yeah.
Would you try Devontae ever, or is Colby your safer bet?
I was just sitting next to him. I'll ask him, though. Yeah.
Tell us about the weight of filling in for Rob Havenstein. And part of this for our benefit for the audience is he's the elder statesman on this roster, right? A captain. He's the only St. Louis Ram left. So what does that mean for you in terms of its gravity?
He's played a lot of football. So just learn from him and just all the tips and tricks that he's learned and able to pass down to me, and just little things like meeting with me before the week and during the game, just giving me little hints hey, your set was a little off right there. You got a little too deep there. Just use your hands and stuff like that. So having him on the sideline and then definitely in practice helps a lot.
Okay, so that's not just in preparation of the course of the week. It's on a series-by-series basis on the sideline?
Oh, yeah. After every series, he'll come up to me and just be like, "Hey, good series there," or "Hey, I saw this." So. Very
nice. Mm-hmm. What's it like being in a huddle with Matthew Stafford right now?
It's pretty cool, Just the way that he thinks about the game is it's crazy to see, and just being a part of that is awesome.
I hear he's got a pretty good sense of humor. Does that come out on game day in those moments?
A little bit, but for the most part, he's really serious, so locked in.
He's pretty locked in. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
And not just this most recent game, but also that 3-game sample size back in October. Did that give you the confidence maybe that you belong in this league, that you can be a starting caliber right tackle?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just getting those game reps always helps build the confidence a little bit, so just having those reps definitely help.
A friend of ours and a colleague, DeMarco Farr, who's on the broadcast team, says you look the part too. You're conducting yourself like a starter, the way that you go about your business.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate? Do you have any idea what he's talking about, what he's observing there?
Not really. I just kind of just do what I do. I try to stay out the way and just go to work.
Yeah. Some of it could just be settling into this environment, right?
Yeah.
Feeling like this is home and that you belong.
Mm-hmm.
You did play at the highest level You won championships at Georgia.
Yeah.
What was the leap like doing it there in the SEC on a championship stage and then elevating to the National Football League?
Definitely going to Georgia kind of made it easier for that, jump from Georgia to here, but definitely still had to learn a lot once I got here. The pace of play was definitely a little bit faster. Just the scheme of things too was a little bit different. So just trying to not get it all at once, but just take a little sample size and just learn as I go.
Do you feel like you got to that point where you're no longer thinking about it? You're able to play in the way that you're comfortable?
Yeah.
What about that redshirt year in college, right? You started with a redshirt year as a freshman. Was that a similar experience here where you kind of come in and get your feet wet and the pacing of it, that it may not be your time right from the jump?
Definitely. Coming in, I had a knee injury and then Rob was rolling. So I was like, yeah, probably going to, just be that swing tackle. And then we had Joe here too. So he was the swing tackle. And I was just kind of just sitting back, learning from those guys. And then the next year I had to play and then, just get my feet wet a little bit. So definitely, yeah.
Did it feel like the proper pacing, or were there moments where you're getting impatient? Like, I know I can do this. I want it to be my time.
You definitely get a little impatient, but you just have to, this is just my role, and I have to buy into my role to help the team. So just, doing what I can to prepare myself, just in case my name is called.
You're what, 24 years of age?
Yeah, 24.
Now? So, you're pretty young coming into this league too. Do you feel like you physically matured into an offensive lineman?
Oh yeah, definitely. Love has definitely helped me a lot. Getting a little extra work. Alec's always in there getting extra work, so I try to hop in there sometimes when and get a little extra work, even if it's on the bike and verse after practice. So
I was gonna say, what does extra work look like?
A lot of arms, core.
We mentioned those championships at Georgia. So you've been in locker rooms where you feel like you've got the people to do something special. It seems like this is shaping up to be that kind of group. Do you see similarities? Do you sense similarities?
Definitely sense it. That team at Georgia was definitely a tight-knit group, and the Brotherhood there was really close, and I could feel that here.
So that's interesting. You don't say, yeah, we've got high-end talent. We got dudes that can go win on the perimeter. It's more the intangible stuff, like the cohesiveness.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Where did that come from for this group specifically? Like, do you think the trip to Maui made any difference, or being on campus at LMU for training camp?
I think all of it. Definitely being in Maui was nice. All of us being on one resort kind of just stuck with each other, and we just kind of had to gel. And then playing golf in Maui, and then definitely at camp. We're there for 2-3 weeks. So, just being there, you kind of have to, gel a little bit. So it was pretty nice.
Was that the farthest west you'd ever traveled?
No, I've been out to Hawaii.
You've been there before? Yeah. Okay. So you got to show some people around. I like that. I want to know about the fraternity of this draft class of 2023. Rams fans know this was essential, right? This is what got us to this chapter of Rams football. Let me just go down the list a little bit. Steve, second-round pick, he's a starter. Byron, starter. Colby, starter. Stetson, preseason sensation every summer. Nick Hampton, rotational pass rusher. Davis Allen, rotational tight end. Puka Nacua, we lost track of him, but we hope life worked out okay. Seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Ethan Evans and Dez still part of this 53-man roster. Like, that's a long list. That's a massive draft class.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that fraternity? Do you feel like you've kind of come through together?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And especially, us coming in and having, like, the group of vets that we had, and kind of just taught us the way to work, definitely helped.
One of those vets was there the other night in Aaron Donald, right, at SoFi Stadium. We talked last week going into the game about how his legacy, his ability to kind of pass that torch is still sensed by the likes of Kobe Turner and Byron Young. Did you observe that? Do you have any perspective on that, like the way that he influenced the culture in this place?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just for the 1 year that I was here with him, just seeing how he worked with those guys and, his preparation, day in and day out was cool to see.
Did you get a bobblehead?
My parents got 3 of them.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so.
I didn't get one.
You want
one down. Yeah, not one of theirs, though.
Yeah.
I want them to have it. Being drafted 3 picks ahead of Puka, that's a pretty good claim to fame.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to tell grandkids about that someday. Yeah. I like that. 1 pick before Davis Allen, too. I hope you rub that in every now and again.
No, actually, I didn't realize that till me and Puka was actually talking about that the other day, which was pretty, I didn't know that.
Just kind of reliving the way that 5th round went. It was all meant to be. The tight ends are having a moment right now for the LA Rams, aren't they? What's it like being next to that position group and Higgs on IR, but Colby and Davis and Terrence?
It's pretty cool. Those guys, the way they work is cool to see, and then they're just all really talented, so just being part of, being able to play next to him is pretty cool.
So we talked about that stretch in October where you jumped in for Rob the first time around. There weren't 2 and maybe even 3 tight ends sitting next to you on that offensive line back then. Now all of a sudden that's an option that Sean McVay and Mike LaFleur have at their disposal. What does that look like from your perspective, and what kind of stress does it put on defenses?
Definitely, when you put 3 tight ends out there that can run block and pass block, it's pretty, it's dangerous. And especially with their athleticism, to be able to, run routes and catch the ball is, it's nice.
Warren, what's it like working next to Kevin Dotson?
It's funny, he's just a character, man.
He is.
Yeah, you just have to kind of be next to him. He's a goofy guy, but serious in the right moments. But he's just an awesome guy to be around.
Nice to have on your left shoulder, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Takes a lot of stress off.
I was going to say, what makes you react like that? The way that he gets off the ball, the way that he takes stress off you is what I think I heard you say.
Yeah, just, sometimes in certain pass reps, if they're like in a certain front, they're running a game, he'll just knock the finish together, and I'm like, my job's done. I didn't have to do anything. He just kind of just threw them together. So it's things like that. And in the run game, he's just a workhorse. He's just driving people off the ball, and I just fit in and, just makes it easier on me.
Sure. What's one thing that you would like to do better as soon as this Sunday in Carolina?
Probably just, keeping my focus, throughout the whole game, my strength throughout the whole game, just getting in better shape, getting in better, game shape. Mm-hmm.
That's just tough to simulate this time of year? To simulate playing, 50, 60 snaps in a game?
Yeah, you just have to, after practice, getting the cardio, on the bike versus just do more of that.
All right, so it's an endurance test.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers have a rookie. I was telling you a little bit before we got started here. Nick Scorton, he's a second-round pick. He's got 3 sacks on the season. I know you haven't gotten into your prep specific to the Panthers yet, but I wonder if you can give us kind of like the map of your week as you do start to turn your attention towards that next opponent. How much of it is focused on like their overall scheme? How much of it is studying tendencies of a guy who may be rushing against you next week?
Yeah, definitely. Getting Wednesday, we'll get, the depth chart, and then we'll, start watching film. And then later that night, I'll get with Rob, and we'll go through and watch the pass rush tape, try to look for little things, see what they're good at, see what their, dominant move is, what they like to go to. And then, later that night, I like to go through and watch the flow of a game and see how they play throughout the flow of a game. Things like that.
In terms of down and distances?
Yeah, down and distances, because it's different when you're watching, their best pass rush tapes, to see what they're good at. And it's different, when you go and watch a game and see how they play through the full game.
It must be such a chess match at that position because you know that he's studying you equally,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's combing through your tape, too. Brunswick, Georgia? Is that the hometown?
Brunswick, Georgia.
What you list. Okay, so I have that as about a 5-6 hour drive from Charlotte. So we're kind of heading in your direction, but I understand your family has already come out to Los Angeles.
Yeah, they came out for Thanksgiving, which I'm pretty stoked about.
That's great. They got to see you play under the primetime lights. And then what are you planning in terms of a family feast? How's that going to go down?
Mom's cooking. She's going to throw down, so I'm excited.
What are you excited about? I could see the light in your eye there.
Ham, mac and cheese, dressing, collard greens. She's going to throw down. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Where does Thanksgiving sit in your holiday power rankings?
Top 2, 1 and 2. I haven't figured it out, but it's top 2 for sure.
Running next to Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in your wheelhouse. This is your time of year, on and off the field. I like it.
Yeah.
What is the ideal time to serve a Thanksgiving meal? And the reason I ask this is because my family was always late, in the 7 o'clock hour, and that drove me nuts. And I understand more people like to skew earlier in the day.
Yeah, I would say like 3.
Okay.
What is the Macy Day Parade?
Is that on TV?
Yeah. When does that normally end? Around?
I don't know. By the time the lines kick off, I guess.
Yeah. So whenever that ends, normally that's when food's ready to go.
Wow. Okay. So nice and early.
Yeah.
So you're going for seconds and thirds over the course of the day. I like that. I was going to ask whether the best serving is that first one on Thursday or the leftovers on Friday.
It's the leftovers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any concerns about your Georgia Bulldogs this week?
No, not at all.
They got Georgia Tech okay?
Yeah.
They're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
They're going to be SEC champions?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
There's good Georgia vibes in this locker room here in Los Angeles,
yeah.
too. So the Georgia Bulldogs have been great to the LA Rams. and we're glad to have you on the field. We wish Rob Havenstein well. Can't wait to see him get back to full health, but it's nice to know there's another starter behind him.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving feast with your family, and go get the Carolina Panthers.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.